Good day, everyone. This is Karshel. I am going to be starting a new game. I just picked it up. It is still on early access, but it looks like it has potential. I've screwed around with it enough to have a general idea of the controls. I'm not really completely comfortable with them yet. But I figured I might as well share them with other folks. We'll be doing a fully new game, and let's see where it takes us. You've got multiple game starts that you can choose from. I am going to be doing the Wanderer, which basically means you are starting alone with bare minimum equipment and thrown into the world to see what happens. This is a squad-based game, and I really have never played any of these, so I'm kind of learning as I go. I screwed around with the game enough to get a general idea of how to do movement and the basics of how things seem to work. That is as far as I went with it before I decided to do this. So I'm looking at doing roughly a half-hour stream, and we will see how that goes. Being new to YouTube videos and the like, any input anybody might have would be appreciated. If you like or dislike something that I do in the video, please send me a comment as to why, and I'll work on getting better with that. And of course, I have to do the obligatory please do the thumbs up thing if you do enjoy it. I think one of my bigger challenges is going to actually being able to keep up a dialogue with folks, as I'm somewhat of a quiet nature, but we'll see what we can do. This is the startup screen, and it allows you to get into the customization of your character and all kinds of different aspects of things you can deal with, in addition to having multiple races. At the moment there are just two, but this is early access, and for all I know there will be others adding to it later on. I am not really caring particularly how I look, because as far as I've noticed, you don't spend a lot of time looking at yourself, so I'm not going to worry about that too awful much. I do have a tendency to do hair, though. Having spent most of my life hairy, it's just one of those things. And since my hair is mostly gray, that's where I have the affinity for it. Now, you can see over here where the mouse is moving, it says change character. Some of the starts, you actually have multiple characters that you are controlling right off the bat. One of them, which is also appealing to me, is, I believe, a homage to the old movie A Boy and His Dog, because you're starting with your main character and a dog. That is tempting to me, but I'm just going to keep it simple here. But you can see from the race description, that gives you a little bit of background. The race stats gives you a little bit of background. And hit confirm to actually start the game. I will be starting in the border zone. Getting a little bit of lag, it's still loading. You can see the bar in the upper right. Some of the basic keys that you need to know and basic movement. The M key brings up the map. It has an arrow showing where you are and where you're facing. If you right click on an area of the map, that's where your character will move to. If you want to select multiple members of your squad, once you have them, you can do it by boxing the characters like that. Mouse wheel serves to zoom in and out. Pretty basic. And if you press the mouse wheel down and rotate, it rotates your view. And this is all you know when you're starting with. You've got some basic bandages, a pair of pants, and basically an iron rod. Um, that's it. You've got nothing else. A little bit of coin. They're referred to as cats. And what you do in this world, since it is an open world, is kind of up to you. I have read a little bit, and it seems to be that the game is also about fort building or town building. You can find yourself a location that you like and work on building up walls, shops, workshops, everything else, meanwhile as you're increasing the size of your squad and the skill of your squad. Skills are another issue. Using the C key, you pull up the character menu. You can see my strength is garbage, but when you look under here under the description, it actually tells you ways to train your strength, carrying people, or overloading the inventory. So the more weight that you're carrying and moving, the better your strength can get. Toughness, this one I have to smile about. Ways to train it, get hurt. Basically allow yourself to get beaten up. Losing battles, not wearing armor, taking damage, all of that will make you tougher. The downside with that, if you are out constantly fighting and you're not in good, well-equipped or having decent skills, you could also end up dead or losing a limb. That kind of defeats the whole toughness aspect. Dexterity, increasing it by attacking with light weapons. But see, all of that is right here on your character screen, so you can see what your skills are and get an idea of how to increase them, which I think is very handy. So the first thing that I'm going to do, since I do have 1,000 cats, is look for a shop somewhere here. It looks like a pretty run-down town, so I'm not even sure if there is one. That looks like an intact building, so let's go over here and look. Now initially, I didn't know if I would be comfortable with being able to zoom all the way out like that, as opposed to the first-person perspective that I'm used to with a lot of other games that I play. But it actually can be quite important. Okay, I probably should not, but I'm going to take some of these things. Again, it's open world, so what I decide to do is what I decide to do. You can right-click on a locked item to attempt to open it. And the chance is fairly good that he's going to be able to. If he fails, like he did, he'll retry it. The downside with that is that the more times that he attempts, the more chance somebody else could walk in and catch him attempting, which could definitely end up working on my toughness by getting me beat up. And there, I've successfully opened it. Okay, I don't see that all this stuff is particularly useful. Some of it is. And, okay, it looks like it would sell for a good amount. So it will help finance future endeavors. I could just take it all, but I really don't want to overload myself with that kind of stuff. Okay, so that was one building. Up there on the end might be another one. Up here, let's go find out. Ah, bar. Bars are very handy. That's usually where you want to go for a basic vendor, and a lot of times when you're ready to recruit new members, a bar is where you would want to go. Now you can tell the cursor changes to dialog box bubble type things. Right click on that person. It looks like he is what they call a faction mob. I don't know how to use those yet, but it sounds like if you need to fix your faction with a group, that's who you talk to. I don't know anything about this guy. Not even sure what race they are. Okay, he's not very social. It's kind of like me in that respect. It sounds like he is an organ vendor, so to speak. If you get beaten up. Bar thug. I don't want to buy him a drink. Maybe I should, but I don't. Am I looking for recruits? Yes, but I do not have 300 cats, so that makes that easy. And Hobbs. Have I ever heard a story of the Wailing Fan? No, I have not. Looks like he's willing to join me without having to buy him off. Well, that's kind of cool. And he is now part of my squad. So that's cool. I now have 2 people I can control. Now pressing 1 puts my main character. Pressing 2 gives my secondary character. I can either move them individually like that, or targeting the second character, right click and assign him to follow on the first one. And then when I move the first, he automatically will move as well. Ah, vendor, good. Okay, has weapons, has a lot of weapons. Some food. From what I understand, food is going to be a major issue. At the moment, I'm selling those because they're worth quite a bit. Fabric's not worth all that much. The book's not worth all that much. Let me see, what is the cost on those? Value, 1,500. So I would like to get, oh, at the least I need to get a weapon for Hobbs. So what do we got there? 25. 13, that could work. Is that considered a light weapon or a heavy weapon? Dexterity rather than brute strength, so I'm going to assume that's a light weapon. What about these? 13, so 2 of them would be 26. So I don't have enough to buy 2. Okay, so Hobbs now has that. I've got 900 I can invest, so to speak. I have not played around at all with bows. I don't know if they're worth my time at this point or not, so I'm going to pass because I do have another weapon. And Hobbs has a weapon, so we're both semi-equipped. Okay. Now, the heavier you are, the slower you are. So he's at 37% encumbrance, whereas I am at 0. So until his speed builds up, it's going to be a slower process where he'll be catching up. It is my intent that hopefully we'll find some loot one way or another, and both of our speeds will get slower because we're overweight. Now that's where we are. We've explored next to nothing of the map, so the only thing that is showing up is up here. No idea what's there. There's also another town down here. I don't know if it would be better to go to a town or wander the wilderness. There are no guards here, so there's no protection that we could find if it was needed. And one of the things that I remember reading is when you're starting out, plan to run a lot as far as running away. So I think I'm going to head to the other town and see if there are some guards around it. If there are, then hopefully they're getting involved with evildoers that come to the gate, so to speak. Although I guess good and evil is completely relative at this point. Maybe instead of evildoers, I should refer to them as prey in my wishful thinking. And Hobbs should be coming along, if you'll forgive the wordplay, hobbling, because he's overweight. But because of that, see, his strength is already going up, whereas Karshel's is not. So there are advantages to being overweight, and it will be my intent. Ooh, I could do that. Whoops. I got a bad feeling about this. In case you missed it, I paused. That group saw us and decided to jump us. And if you look at their stats down here, their attack is better, their defense is better, strength is up, dexterity, toughness. I think that they could just plain beat us into submission. There are no guards up here in the town. I don't know that it's going to do a thing to try to run, but I don't like the thought of getting my butt kicked, even if it makes me tougher. So far, Hobbs is not getting his butt kicked. I was concerned about that. I think I'm going to try to run him right into the bar and see if maybe other people will get involved. Not the most honorable of things to do, I suppose, but I'm not so much worried about honor at the moment. Oh, it looks like Hobbs is getting hit. Oh, maybe not. Get your butt up here, Hobbs. Come on, Brother Hobbs. I'm thinking that Karshel wants to go back and help. Where's Hobbs at? Yes. There's Hobbs. Okay. Attack target. Karshel. Attack target. I think we're still going to get our butts kicked, but let's find out. If nothing else, we might be able to get some skill ups here. I'm thinking that's a good thing. And maybe, well, nobody's complaining that we're looting, so I'm guessing we're okay with that too. Okay, Karshel. Okay, he's got that thing. Hobbs has got that one. Dun, dun, dun. Both have boots. Excellent. Okay, so that's 2 looted, because that's empty. Now, see, now this works out really nice. Except I'm running out of room. Aww. Do I have fat fingers? Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. That actually worked. What did that do for my skills? Like nothing. Athletics maybe went up. Melee attack, melee defense. I didn't look at what they were to start, but that might not have been terrible. Okay, let's sell this excess stuff off. And I'm back to 2,600. What do we got here? Better for defending. Low value. Attack bonus -5. -5 endorse penalty. Defense bonus +3. I'm just going to stick with what I've got. Okay. Follow. First aid. First aid. Okay. I'm going to have to remember that. I'm very surprised that I made it into the building. But I am not about to complain. Okay, let's go see where the rest of the bodies are. If they're still out here, maybe I can loot things from them and sell them. Nothing. Ooh. Ooh, definitely want to sell that. I may end up doing much better than expected with this. And he still has 9,000 credits, so let's do my best to drain him. Does he have medkits for sale? Not that I can see, and too bad, because it would be nice to be able to buy those while I've got the ability. You're empty. Okay. Now you're empty. You're empty. So, one more body. Ooh, one pair of pants. And those are worth having. I just cannot grab them. Yeah, they're definitely worth having. I'm actually going to come out of this relatively wealthy. Does not have any skills, but increasing my squad to 3 when I don't have anything particular to spend money on at the moment, I think that that's worth it. And again, you've got full customization when you recruit somebody. I don't know that I got to do that with Hobbs, did I? I don't recall doing that with Hobbs. You know, but you got a lot of various customization options here. And again, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. Haircut matters a little bit, not much. And good enough for me. I'm going to have both of them auto-follow Karshel again, so that I have a relatively easier time doing that. She has a basic weapon, that's it. Okay. Now I have no idea how long it takes for bodies to poof. No armor coverage. This has armor coverage. I don't know why this is there, but I'm going to move it. I think I dropped it. Trade, and I will give that to her. Yeah. I need another bunch of bandits. Okay, I think at this point, having set the initial character creation up, showed a little bit, getting jumped and surviving the first comment, I think that will be a good place to end for today. I appreciate your watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you did see something that you didn't enjoy or have any suggestions. Please feel free to make them in the comments. At the moment, I do have comments moderated because last time I tried to do this, I got inundated by spam comments. But if your comments are constructive and of worth, I will definitely share them with everyone else. Thanks for joining me. I will see you folks later. Bye-bye.